Hello there, and welcome along to the Gardener Ben podcast and an open garden special. The Gardener Ben podcast is brought to you proudly in association with Peter Beals Roses, winner of 31 Chelsea Gold medals and creating timeless roses since 1968. Go online and shop at www.peterbealsroses.com. Now, many of you will be aware, and many of you made the effort to come and visit the garden yourselves at the end of May as we rolled into the beginning of June. I've had the absolute pleasure and the absolute awful stress of opening the garden here at North Lodge to the public 3 times in the last 8 years. And before that, we opened our garden at Dynamite Cottage as well. To say it is an incredibly stressful experience is an understatement, but it's also a joyous and incredibly rewarding experience as well. Getting to share the garden with like-minded people that sometimes have absolutely no idea what's hidden behind our high hedges, trees and gates is a really lovely experience as they walk down the drive and are completely wowed by what they see. The overwhelming feedback from people is they had absolutely no idea that our 328-year-old cottage was even here, let alone surrounded by such an oasis of plants. People often astonished by how much is here, how complicated the garden is, and just by how many roses I've managed to pack into a relatively small space of just over a third of an acre. And this year, as I've prepared the garden for photographing for my upcoming book, which will be launched in November 2027, I thought, hell, why not? We might as well open the garden as I've groomed and pruned it to the point where it can be photographed. Surely it can go under the scrutiny of the general public. So, with my husband Mark's consent, we decided that we would schedule an event and allow the general public in for a good mooch around. Luckily, the weather held, and we raised a large amount of money for our chosen good causes. Simply hundreds of you made the effort to come and see the garden from far and wide, and Mark thought it would be a really lovely idea to actually capture people's opinions of the garden as they left, asking them to take part in small sound bites for the podcast. These have been put together and follow, and I really hope that you enjoy the little bits of information about the garden, and it, combined with the 3-dimensional tours that I post to YouTube, give you a little bit more information about the house and its garden.
What have you enjoyed about your visit to the garden today?
It's just so inspirational, and all the little ideas that I've come away with, using things like rusty old barrels that I'd have thrown out, those kind of things, the flower pots, and even your garden shed is immaculate with old stuff that looks cool. It's just so cool. And well, and
what you're saying is
the
we're
roses,
hoarders.
and the roses, the clematises, it's just amazing.
Oh, lovely.
Just
Thank you so much for coming. What have you enjoyed about your tour around the garden today?
It's just exquisite, and the roses just blew my mind, and lots of ideas about what to put in with the roses. So I'm now going to go to Baskets and Blooms and see if I can remember them.
Love it. Well done. Well, any need clarification, Ben will be able to tell you because I'm Rain Man with roses. But you had a nice time?
Stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, just absolutely stunning.
Thank you so much.
So much thought and effort has gone into it. Never seen so many different varieties of roses. It's incredible. I've been trying to. Has that one got a label? What's that one called? Oh, brilliant! I know what that one is now.
The feedback yesterday was we should label them, and I think we labelled them up to about 100, as in we had a plan of where they were, and then when we broke like 200, he knows exactly. You can tell him, ask him, or tell him where it is, and he'll be able to tell you. But I think it's I used to go around and remove the labels because I used to think they're untidy, but I think that was my fault.
So you're on the naughty list for that.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you so much for coming.
This is incredible.
Have you seen rose gardens? But they're nothing like this. This is just outshines any rose garden.
Oh, amazing! Look at
yes.
Rose indeed.
Thank you for letting us.
And the different combinations, things like putting all the clematis in with them.
He's doing a big series this year on companion planting, which is mostly around clematis and on what ones. Yeah, but they go together well, don't they?
They do very well. Yes. It's just nice with the odd little different plant in there, but it's just so well organised, and things like your boat, your pond boat, was lovely.
Yeah.
That was a different idea. Yes.
Really nice.
Oh, I love it. And it's I think a lot of people grow up with an idea of what roses are traditionally from either grandparents or gardens when you were growing up. And I think what he's done is kind of dismantled that bit by showing roses in so many different spaces and planted differently.
Hanging baskets.
Oh,
Never seen
yeah,
that before.
yeah.
Have they? I mean, do they grow like
Yeah,
hanging
yeah,
baskets?
absolutely. So for people with limited space or a balcony, you can grow in and he's doing that. His book comes out November next year. His book on roses, and he's doing a section on like smaller gardens, and part of that is roses and hanging baskets. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
So
that
one
was
either side of the porch. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And they're growing all right.
They are, yeah, and they're easier to water up there, I think. Anyway. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What have you enjoyed about your visit to the garden today?
I think everything is so beautiful, especially the roses. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any ideas you're taking away with you?
I think I'm going to make a flower bed. You have the stones around it. And
Yes,
probably
yeah.
I want to have the olive tree in my garden.
Yes, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And the olives have been a big a fan. Everyone's been a fan of the olives.
And also, what we've liked is, although your gardens goes all the way around, you've themed the areas, and it's really nice, and it's very calming and relaxing. And you've got lots of different varieties of things. You know, although you've got a lot of roses, I know nothing about gardening, but I really do enjoy it, and it takes you through a nice little peaceful, tranquil journey, and that's what I like.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of interest in areas.
Yeah, and the flower beds are very nice to look at, but they're busy, but there's no weeds. What I found is I can't see anything around. I don't know if you pulled them all out before we came here, but ours is always constant something growing.
Yeah, it is, especially with bindweed. You've got a handful in his hand right now, I think. So, yeah, constant, always removing weeds, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry, you were just going to say what you enjoyed about walking around the garden.
Yeah, I loved the way the garden went into different areas, and it was actually a lot bigger than I expected it to be, really.
Yeah.
And more spread out.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
beautiful.
for coming. Thank you very much. So, thank you for coming, and what have you enjoyed about walking around the garden today?
Oh, the main thing for me has been the roses. Undoubtedly, the roses and the peonies, and that combination of planting is just magnificent. It's just beautiful. I was disappointed to find one of the roses I really liked is no longer available. But that was interesting as well to learn about that. And the garden itself has a wonderful, friendly, warm atmosphere. And we've just loved it, haven't we? It's been a joy to come, and
Thank
we'll
you so
certainly
much.
come again if you open again
We
next year.
will. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much for taking the
pleasure.
time. What have you enjoyed about your visit to the garden today?
The roses in the main.
Yeah.
The clematis, the scent is beautiful. What you've done round the garden, because I followed you when you did the wall.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've just been speaking to Ben about the lavender. Just
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Just generally beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for visiting.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
How did you enjoy your walk around the garden?
Did not disappoint at all. More roses than you can shake a stick at. And I love the fact he does what I do, which is the shoehorn school of gardening. So if you can fit one in, you can fit a whole ton in.
That is definitely his mantra.
But that way you don't have any weeds.
I like that.
Not that you can see.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
How have you enjoyed your visit around the garden?
Well, it's been spectacular. It was a surprise visit, and I had my coffee on the way in, which was also wonderful, but then able to enjoy a huge choice of roses, which are just unbelievable, some of them. The variety is amazing, beautifully laid out, but I like the casualness.
Yes.
And I like the welcome. And we had a lovely weather, so you can't complain. It's just been restful and lovely to be here. Thank you.
I love that you said casualness, because I think I don't like formal gardens where you feel like you can't.
No. And Ben's been helpful and interesting, and that's not something you often get. So that's really nice. Absolutely chuffed as nuts to come out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming to our open gardens. What was something you enjoyed? Anything you take away? Yeah, how was your wander around the garden?
It was absolutely amazing. It's a deceptively large space.
Yeah.
And we spent over an hour walking around on our first lap and then went back for our second lap. but my one concern coming was that I would see too many roses that I wouldn't be able to fit in my own garden. But coming here, you can see they're all smushed in together. So I don't have that problem now. I know I can just pack them all in.
Do you know what? The previous soundbite I just took was a friend of ours online, and he said, "You've got Ben has the shoehorn style." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly it." Yeah.
As well, you just want to take away everything.
Oh, really?
You know, and you're just kind of like, oh, I could have that, and I could have that one, and if I could have that, and actually, it's like, rather than individuals, you just take pockets. I mean, we were sat in the sort of little seating area with the stone wall, and we were like, oh, it's like a little mini Chelsea garden.
Do you know what? When we were in Chelsea last week, I really thought of it as like a concept, and I think, you know, I mean, Ben were doing incredible the concept at Chelsea, but actually sometimes I think they're so temporary, and I know they go on and have a life after, but the sustainability of putting it all there, I love that our concept is a living, breathing thing that stays in place, and it's grown and evolved over time. So no, I completely agree with that.
And structurally, it's so nice with all the little pathways through, and there's always different things to look at. And,
Thank you.
It's lovely as a live-in garden. You know, you can see how it's somebody's garden, but it also feels like
it's just exceptionally beautiful.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
I'll
Absolutely
take
stunning.
that.
It's like 1,000 times better than. I knew it would be lovely, but having seen it in person is completely different to seeing it in, you know, the little snapshots. So yeah, it's completely amazing.
Oh, thank
Going
you.
home very inspired.
Oh, amazing,
The
amazing.
olives as well, I just love.
And they don't look at because of the heat we've had this week. The olives don't actually look their best. They've got a lot of yellow leaves on them, but they're just so. I don't know. I think I find them really grounded. I think it's that age, but yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of class to it. I agree with that. Yeah,
really nice
structurally, yes.
It's a nice mix between kind of a Mediterranean planting and like a sort of English.
Yeah.
And that cottage garden feel with everything spilling over.
Oh, love it. And you say it was deceiving. So you do think it's bigger in real life than? It's so. I'm so relieved people say that because you don't get the out of context in the individual photos. He does do garden tours, but it doesn't kind of capture the kind of follow through of it, does it? Yeah.
I mean, it feels, and it feels bigger than the actual, I think, space is,
Because there's so many little paths to really create different zones, and each zone, it's very cohesive feel, but each
area feels slightly different as well because the planting type is slightly different, but you know, nothing had
labels on, which we thought would be a bit of a problem, but he just has.
He knows it.
I said that encyclopedic knowledge, so we were showing him pictures of what's this one and this one, so we can.
And he can tell you where it is as well, can't he?
We didn't even need to say where the rose was, so he just knew straight away.
Yeah.
So we know what we're going to get in our garden. And it's like the roses in the little hanging baskets at the back.
Yeah. Really, for people with not much space, it's another way, getting them up off the ground, isn't it? Yeah.
And you just come around the back, and then we were like, oh my gosh, there's this whole bit over here, and then there's this pathway and that pathway, and all the like added bits with the water features, and it's just And we saw a fledgling baby robin.
Oh, good. You know, we haven't got as many robins as we normally have this year. We keep seeing daddy robin around, but not many fledglings. So I'm glad you've seen.
The babies are hopping around.
Oh, good. Because normally he nests up in where Ben writes now in the lodge, but normally he's up around the stable. But this year I don't know where he's nested, but we're certainly overrun with blackbirds this year, so I think that's probably why he's been a bit shyer.
Well, we're looking forward to the book coming out.
Good.
So
November 2027.
Oh, 27. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's Christmas sorted.
Your Secret Santa will buy the same thing. Love this. Thank you so much for coming.
Definitely worth the drive.
Thank you. Hello, thank you for coming. And what did you enjoy about your stroll around the garden today?
I particularly enjoyed seeing the evolution of the garden from the last time that I came to one of your open gardens here at North Lodge.
Yeah, and do you think it's changed much in the 2 years?
There are things that have changed, but it's mostly just seeing the kind of the progression, and because it's such a beautiful sunny day, walking around the different areas and getting lovely wafts of perfume is really it's just such an immersive experience.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. What did you enjoy about your walk around the garden today?
Totally blown away. I followed Ben on Instagram virtually from the start. And it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I've now got lots of ideas that my husband's got thanking me for.
I feel your pain. But thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the kind words as well.
Loved it.
I unfortunately didn't get all of the comments that people were sharing as they left the gardens this weekend. There was some wonderful comments which I would have loved to have captured, but they were just given ad hoc and in the present moment, so it didn't always feel appropriate to grab a microphone. But three of my favourites. One was "You're giving Mottisfont a run for run for its money," and then a second one saying "better than Mottisfont." And the reason I think that resonated is because I know that Mottisfont, particularly their rose garden, has always been something Ben's loved and something we used to visit a lot when we lived in Southampton. So that was lovely to hear. And also just people talking about how they didn't know roses came in such a variety or could be grown in such ways or could be planted with similar, like with the companion plants that Ben has used. I think it's just really helped break open the kind of traditions a lot of us have around roses based on maybe older relatives or times gone by. So I think it was nice to hear people have their opinions changed on roses and how we use roses. So yeah.
I spent a really lovely 3 days talking to people about my garden and sharing my passion for roses with them all. People were absolutely astonished by just how many roses I've managed to pack into a small space and were really interested to see the actual criteria that goes on behind the gates when it comes to actually reviewing a rose, clematis, or peony. The stars of the show over the weekend were realistically Rose Rachel, which really stole the show. So many people interested in that beautiful rose, which is planted in a fairly dark location in the garden. Its highly ruffled apricot yellow flowers really glowing, almost luminous in the dark. Many people wanted to know how I went about actually designing the garden and were surprised by how such a large space is broken down into some really small, intimate, and well thought out areas. My answer to this was very incredibly simple. The areas they're talking about are roughly the size of most people's domestic sized gardens, and our garden contains about 8 or 9 of them. So it's best to just take your space and break it down into bite sized pieces, taking on projects which you have the ability to control and finish, actually giving you a sense of completion and that you can actually get on and enjoy. It's taken us nearly 8 years to complete the garden here at North Lodge, and we have now expanded our way all the way through to our boundaries. It was a massive undertaking. The house, when we purchased it back in April of 2018, was in a terrible state. It had been on and off the market for around 5 to 7 years and had remained in the trust of the same family for 3 generations when they purchased it from Burgate Manor in 1939. Many people thought we were absolutely crazy for even considering purchasing this old thatched cottage, which was not listed and sat right in the middle of a very large, strange shaped plot. But for us, well, for me, I saw a diamond in the rough. A beautiful old lady sat just waiting for some attention, and a plot that was massive and needed a huge amount of work. There were quite literally hundreds of metres of fencing that needed to be replaced, which cost us thousands and thousands of pounds. A garage, which roof had collapsed in on itself, with the garage door stuck up, was packed full front to back with absolutely decades worth of rubbish. A whole shed, complete with its contents, collapsed and lying on the floor, dead trees everywhere, and a huge heap of soil which had been removed to create the foundations for a conservatory, dumped in the middle of nowhere. The garden was in an utter mess, with large boughs of trees touching the thatch, which had a hole in the roof, a squirrel living in the wall, no real kitchen, and a bathroom that had seen no attention for decades. Why on earth did you buy this house? Many people asked us. The answer for us was simple. It was simply as much land as we could afford, and it was everything that we had, and we were prepared to give it a go. It took us an incredibly long time to pull our house round into this condition, so it's always nice when people who have visited the garden at the very start of the project come back and see the progress that we've made, because it didn't always look like this, and it represents a massive amount of hard work, dedication, and of course a huge amount of money. My sunken Italian terrace probably gets the most attention and was probably the largest project we undertook here at the house. Once the 90s conservatory was removed from the back of our cob and thatched cottage and was replaced by something much more aesthetically pleasing that blends beautifully with our beautiful old cottage, it was time to set about on creating an outdoor entertaining space. To do this, we needed to remove 50 tons of soil to get the area level, as we were moving our way into a quite large bank that goes out behind the house. After levelling off the area, I actually set about building a stone wall with Portland stone that I obtained from Suttles over at Swanage. Over 10 tons of dry walling stone had to be moved, shifted, and then sorted to allow me to build the actual retaining wall itself. This inspired 3 different crofts, 2 of which contain ancient olives and 1 contain a pair of tree ferns. The project took virtually all of the summer of 2023, and my imagination ran wild. I created a series of counterlever shelves, which are useful for placing drinks and small plant pots on, and a hidden set of steps allowing you access up onto the lawn, which the dog uses on a regular basis when she wants to play fetch. The area was then completed with a salvaged water tank, which measures a whopping 2.5 metres long and 1.4 metres in width. It is absolutely enormous and makes up our really beautiful raised pond. Again, the overwhelming thing from people over the weekend that we opened was just how much items in the garden are old, salvaged, or repurposed. And having been a commercial landscaper for over 20 years, I must confess I'm a little bit of a magpie, seeing value in lots of things that many people throw away. And in fact, I've actually been paid to take away from many people's gardens. They've been reused, repurposed, upcycled, and placed all over the garden, often reused and repurposed for something they were never meant to do. I really enjoy this kind of gardening, and now I don't drive a 3.5 ton truck for a living. This has become increasingly difficult, as there's only so many things that you can fit inside a normal sized hatchback car. Anyway, if you want to know more about the garden, please do head over to my YouTube channel where you'll find lots of garden tours. They're all put together on one playlist to give you a really good idea of how the garden feels and how it looks in different times of the year. The Gardener Ben podcast is brought to you proudly in association with Peter Beals Roses, winner of 31 Chelsea Gold medals and creating timeless roses since 1968. Go online and shop at www.peterbealsroses.com and make sure that you're following along on Instagram and TikTok. Until next time, happy gardening.